Hi, I'm Paul Tursley and this is a demo of PT Multiplane. You can use this script to quickly turn layers into 3D multiplane scenes. When you get this script, to install it, you want to take the script and install that in After Effects Scripts folder in Script UI Panels. There it is. And then when you restart, you'll be able to select it from the window menu here. Also included with the script is some test footage, a piece of layered artwork which we're going to use in this demo. Let's create a new project and import that. So this is a layered Photoshop file. This also works well with layered Illustrator files, but also it works with text and shape layers in After Effects as well. So we're going to import this using the composition retain layer sizes option. Before CS5 that was called the cropped layers option. So here we've imported the layered Photoshop file as a composition, and what I've done is I've gone through and turned this into a multiplane in Photoshop. So I will have cut out the front layer and then painted it out, and then cut out the next layer, painted that out, and so on. So I've got these 4 layers, and as I said, this can be used for not just like Photoshop files. So let's create some text as well. So we need to use the Apply Multiplane button to get started here, and if you have no layer selected, it will apply it to all layers, or if you want to apply it to specific layers, you would select those before you hit Apply Multiplane. So if I go ahead and click this, you can see that nothing appears to have changed. We've got a camera and we've got these layer markers saying multiplane enabled, but everything looks the same. But if we switch this to 2 views and switch this to a custom view, you can see that it has laid out all these layers in 3D space, while keeping the view unchanged as seen from the original camera position. And it's laid these out between these values specified in the palette here, so you can quite easily experiment with that and change that, and just keep reapplying, and to get these to get it in kind of different ranges in your Z space. And as well as being able to auto lay it out like this, once you've applied multiplane, it applies these scale expressions which automatically compensate. So you can move these layers now forwards and backwards in Z space, and they won't appear to change from the camera's original position. So as you can see there, it looks like you can see the text there is actually getting bigger as it moves backwards. The scale expressions are compensating. So this makes it very easy to experiment with the depth in your scene, move layers around, and while keeping your composition the same. But then when you start moving the camera, you'll see that it is in fact a 3D scene. So I'm just going to, on the camera, I'm going to go to Layer Transform, Auto Orient, and turn off Orient towards Point of Interest, which just makes the camera easy to control. You don't need to worry about the point of interest, just control position and rotation. So let's just watch that back, put a bit of easy ease on the keyframes. So as I said, you can move these layers forwards and backwards either by dragging the Z arrows in the comp window, or you can scrub the Z values in the let's move back to the original camera position, in the timeline here, and from the original camera position the layers remain looking unchanged. You can leave this applied, but if you then later want to animate the layers and you're happy with how you've laid out the multiplane scene, you can use this bake button, and that will remove the expressions and turn the layers back into regular 3D layers with the positions retained. One area where I've used this script a lot is in commercials, where we may start off with like a 6-frame storyboard which was created as layered artwork, and then we need to turn that into say a 30-second commercial. So it's not unusual for me to need to stitch more than one multiplane together, so I'm going to show you how I would do that. So I'm going to create a new composition of the same size and just create a very quick mock-up for a shot 2. So let's put in a shape layer and some text, and I'm going to scale this text layer. There was one improvement in this version, is the previous version didn't deal well with layers that had been scaled or animated already, and it worked best with completely fresh layers. But in this version, let's apply multiplane. You can see that if it detects a layer has already been transformed or animated, then it will use a null to control the layer instead. So you can see that it has laid these out between the values specified here, but it's using a null to control this layer that had previously been scaled. So, and you've got this layer marker multiplane control for layer below. So so in this case you would use the null if you wanted to reposition the layer. So anyway, so let's say we want to now stitch this into the other shot. So when we reach the end position, let's add a bit of rotation here as well. So let's rotate up and to the right. So let's say when we reach this position, we want to be looking at our other scene. So if we come back into here, so let's make sure auto orient was turned off, and so we'd need to bake this. So when you're using null controls, I should also say about null controls that there is this option to always use null controls. So with that enabled, let's apply multiplane again, and you can see now it uses a null to control all the layers. So this shape layer back here is being controlled by a null now as well. So you do have that option to use that if you'd prefer. With null controller layers to kind of bake the results in, you can just simply delete the nulls, or you can still use the bake option. That works as well. So in order to stitch this into the other shot, so we're going to copy these, select these layers, sorry, and parent them to the camera, and then copy all the layers, including the camera, and paste them into this comp. And then we're going to copy the changed values of the original camera, so in this case position, rotation, and paste them into the new camera. And at that point we can delete this camera. It was simply being used to transform the parented layers. So but we can see here now that when this camera has reached this position, it is now looking at the composition and multiplane that was a shot 2. So that gives you an idea of how you can stitch multiple multiplanes together. Okay, so that's the end of my tutorial, so thanks for watching.